people think Rosie O'Donnell's very hot. She'd look really good in a porn.
Nobody thinks that.
I don't know. What kind of positions would you focus on if you were in a porn?
I would focus on positions where my face and body don't show. I don't know what other positions there are.
That's what you would do?
Yeah.
Do you think you could make good money doing that?
No, I do not. They were like, we could give you minimum wage. What do you want?
Rosie, you're very hard on yourself.
I mean,
you're very hard.
I'm realistic. I know what people want, and I can tell you, nobody wants to see some middle-aged, old, wrinkly lady. I lost a bunch of weight. My skin's loose. What can I say?
Is it from all those kids?
I mean, no, of course not. I never had no kids, but I mean, I just adopted some, But
yeah.
As far as my overall my undercarriage and whatnot, it's loose. I mean, I was 300 pounds.
It's steamy though, right? Your undercarriage gets steamy sometimes.
I mean, you could ask my wife about that. I'm not gonna say nothing about that because that's disgusting.
Sometimes it turns into a little steam room there,
Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about that. Okay, I'll talk to the wife about that. Let's see what she has to say about the steam room.
The wife doesn't want to talk about that.
She don't want to talk about that.
I specifically instructed her not to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. So it's official. Rosie O'Donnell, after her main career, she's going to focus on plays like Rosie Goes Downtown. You're not going to do any porn or nothing like that. You would never consider OnlyFans or nothing like that.
I don't believe I'd have any fans. So if it was OnlyFans, it'd be like Only Fan.
Oh,
I'd
just
have one fan. And they wouldn't be able to support me at the lifestyle that I've grown accustomed to, so no.
So take the S off that there, and then you'd have that career.
Only fan.
Only
and
fan.
My only fan would probably be some middle class dude or broad that ain't got no money to support my lifestyle that I've grown accustomed to.
And for sure, if you did this OnlyFans, you would only do positions that wouldn't show your face and body. Is that correct?
Of course. Nobody wants to see that shit.
That's very...
I've learned this stuff.
Yes.
I'm too old to strip, too young to retire.
You're very strategic.
I'm
You're
too broke to even think about that shit.
Now, I talked to your friend Tommy. He's still with MJ and all that. Have you talked to Tommy lately? Has he talked to you anything about his life or him and MJ, anything like that?
I mean, Tommy's doing really well. I don't talk to him as much as I probably should, but yeah, he seems really happy, and MJ is just happy with the level of attention she's getting, and she's pretty good from what I can tell.
I love those guys and everything, but Tommy, he's so loud. He's just he's just super expressive and loud, that whole Chicago thing. It's very hard to just sit there and listen to him. The volume just goes right through my face. It's like a power fan, Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you got to pull back from him, I know that Tommy, he doesn't really think about getting his hair cut or nothing because he's kind of bald. But MJ, she told me she might want you to style her, do some of the hair. Do you have any ideas of what you could do for MJ's hair?
Yeah, I can tell you that with MJ, I wasn't a big fan of the blondes. I understand wanting to be blonde. I myself am blonde, but personally, with her Persian features, I think the dark hair looks better on her, or perhaps even a caramel color. But the blonde is a no-go for her.
It's a no-go. So what as a professional now entering that field, what would you recommend for her type of face, her structure, her body structure? What looks the best? What kind of styling looks the best on her?
Personally, I would say she should stick to sort of classic long hair, lots of layers, maybe a curtain bang. And if she wants to go blonde, stick with the dark blonde, like the caramel color. She can't be a traditional blonde because her features are just not made for the traditional blonde look, and her roots grow out so fast it just looks trashy. And I don't want to say that about MJ because she's my girl, but you know what can I say? It's not good.
What about Reza? What would you do for Reza? He's got a strange, weird overlap on the side, like he's trying to cover something up.
No,
What would
I
you do
mean
for
Reza,
Reza?
he has great hair. I don't think he's thinning at all. He looks great. What I would say is Reza, watch those colics. The colics on the side, the colics on the front. You got to work with them instead of working against them. When you work against them, it just looks crazy. Just work with them. Figure
Work
out a
with it.
style that goes with that, and you just go with that instead of trying to like constantly chop it too short and have these crazy.
He does. He
Eiffel
chops it way
Towers.
too short on the side.
It's
I don't know why.
crazy.
He's got a very nice thick head of hair, you
He
know.
does.
If I batted for the other team, if you know what I'm saying, I might take a swing at him, but that's another conversation for another time,
That's another conversation.
What do you think about Assa? What would you do for her? Her face, her features, her body type, you know?
So, I mean, if I was to talk about the pop priestess, the Persian pop priestess.
That's right. She calls herself the Persian pop priestess.
I would
What
say,
would you do?
girl, just keep doing you, brand your brand. If you want to be the PPP, the Persian pop princess, go ahead and do it. But, go all in with it. This fake enlightenment shit, it ain't working for you, bitch. So, you know what you need to do? Just accept that you're going to be deep at times and shallow as fuck at other times. And that's okay. That's just how you are. You're Persian and you're a pop priestess.
You
They
know,
can't always be the same.
These Persian ladies, though, they're pretty superficial, they're really focused on the goods. Everything's shiny, gold, they're really focused on the money and everything, That's why I can't talk to Gigi anymore. She's very annoying, because, she doesn't really do that much. She gets everything handed to her, and, I don't know. Have you talked to her lately? I'm just not feeling her anymore. I kind of cut her out.
I can understand. I talked to NJ. I reached out to her. She never responded. And you know what? I know I get it. She's a, C, D level celebrity. I'm a B, C level. It can be intimidating trying to talk to somebody like me. But what I'm going to say is, you know what? She has a lot going on. I don't blame her. I just want to make sure that she's living her best life.
You consider yourself a successful former actress and talk show host, correct?
Of course.
And would you say that you have enough money that even if you didn't do these plays like Rosie Goes Downtown, like you'd still have enough to be fairly comfortable for you and your children's?
Well, of course. I've invested. I have my financial advisor. I know what I'm doing with my life, but, when it comes down to it, I enjoy working at certain projects, and I'm just doing my, what do you call that? My passion projects.
Your passion projects, yes.
Yeah, I pick up things that I enjoy, and if I don't enjoy it, then I'm retired. That's how it
You
goes.
told me the other day about, Rosie Goes Downtown. And, I heard it from that guy, that light fellow that you worked on. He told me you're in your 32nd, 33rd season. That's a long time. It's a very successful play. I told Mike, Mike from Reza and the gang, that he really needs to focus on the long term, do something long term that's successful like that, and what do you recommend for Mike? Not for hairstyle so much, but his life. What should he do in his life so that he stops bouncing around from lady to lady and, all these wacky business self-promotion ideas and all this stuff? What can he do to really just solidify his life and just get more consistent,
Yeah, I mean, it's not really any of my business, but what I would say is, you know what, Mike? It's time to focus on more spiritual, emotional type shit. And stop looking so much at the booty, at the breastises, or whatever it is you're looking at. And just just, focus on the deep internal picture of the person. Because at some point, the beauty fades and you still got that personality. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
That's going to be very hard for
yeah.
Mike to get spiritual, because he's always focused on the duel, getting around with the duel,
Yeah, the duel seems to be getting in his way a little bit, but at the same time,
MJ still wants that duel too. She's always like, it's a super duel, like a little Superman.
I don't know if MJ wants it, if she just likes to admire it from afar.
She likes to talk about it a lot.
I think it's more of admire it from afar. She she talks a big talk, but when it comes down to it, she's down for Tommy. So
Okay. Her and Tommy's gonna stay locked. I got it.
Yeah, her and Tommy's got a thing going on.
As far as Mike, before we move on to the other characters there, Mike, what would you recommend for his hair? What would make him look the best?
Honestly, with Mike, I think he could use a few a little bit lighter highlights, some sort of like cool mocha highlights that would look good in his hair. He has a great hairline. It looks like it's got very thick hair. Maybe a few more layers and he would be good.
What about his buddy there, Sheran? He's always got that weird, glossy Superman style. You think he should keep that or do something else?
I mean, Sheran looks great, but he's got a lot of money. It looks like he's thinning a little bit in the back. Instead of letting that thin, he should just get some hair transplants and just be done with it.
Is there anybody else we're leaving out of all these people we know? Besides Sheran, we got, Lily, me and you, we don't really talk to her that much anymore, She does her own thing. Who else can we talk about? Assa?
Assa?
Yeah. No, not Assa. Assa.
Oh, the girl?
Remember her?
With the guy?
Yeah, with that guy there.
Yeah, she needs to be less difficult. Beauty only goes so far. That's all I'm saying.
She's a very difficult person.
You know what? I'm about to pass out. I would like to talk to you some more, but my brain and my body will not let me.
Rosie goes bedtime now?
I'm done.
Okay.
I got it.
Rosie, sign off. Say goodnight to your fans.
Buenas noches.